Welcome back to another Jimmy and Daniel science video. In this video, we will be going over how the substrate enters the enzyme. First off, the substrate enters the active site enzyme after the enzyme changes shape so its active site embraces the substrate tightly. It will enter in and it will be held with a snug fit. Substrates are held in the active site by bonds such as ionic and hydrogen. The active site will then convert the substrate into its products. These products are mainly split up into two parts, and once it is done with it, it will send them off on their merry way to be used throughout the body. Then the active site will then be ready to use for another substrate coming in.
Welcome back. I'm scientist Jimmy Kahn. Here we have the substrate, and here we have the competitive inhibitor. A competitive inhibitor mimics the substrate competing for the active site. If the competitive inhibitor beats the substrate to the enzyme, the substrate is unable to bind with the enzyme and must leave.
RIP. This is back with scientist Daniel, and like competitive inhibitors, we have non-competitive inhibitors. As you can see, this right here is the allosteric site, and a non-competitive inhibitor will go through here, and it will go into the site, and it will change the shape of the active site. So as you can see, with the new active site shape, the substrate will come in and try and bind, but as you can see, it is way too small and it will not fit in shape. So with this happening, this will, like the competitive inhibitors, send the substrate on its way unable to be used. Okay, so this is Daniel. When everything is in place, the substrate then causes the metabolic pathway to occur. It sends a signal or something else that triggers everything throughout the cell to relay a message to its end spot, and that end spot can then send a message to all throughout the cell to do something specifically in what it needs to do.